What is going on, YouTube? It is Primitive here, and today I'm bringing you our first BT11 match, and this is going to be featuring the new potential top dog in BlackWarGreymon X Antibody, and then on the right is going to be myself playing Beelstarmon with the updated list. Now, there's not too much that is really updated for this deck in BT11, but you can update for the deck by putting in things like Zort Defeat, which is not too terrible in this matchup right here, being able to pop the Yuyas, but I've been having a ton of fun with the Beelstarmon in the EX3 format that I just wanted to go ahead and test it out into the BT11 metagame as well and see how it will perform, but gonna swing in with the scatter mode, and as we all know, it will have jamming, quote unquote, so not gonna be able to go down and get that draw, so I go with that missed memory boost, and I'm going to swing once again, and now I'm hitting another red memory boost, so my opponent is going to have 3 red memory boosts. My scatter mode has swung into 2 of them, so this is obviously not the greatest of starts, but we do see that I put the BT6 Bond mat in the back as my blue source. We are playing those blue option cards like Cocytus Breath and the Plasma Decker Launcher, and I am playing 6 Gabumon in this build because I'm playing 2 of the when attacking draw 1 trash 1 Gabumon with the 4 on deletion draw 2 trash 1 Gabumon, and so when I promote like I will next turn, I will be able to gain 1 draw 1 off of that mat. So while also being a blue source, it also gives us a little bit of extra draw. But we see BlackWarGreymon go up into the new Metal X, which does threaten to be able to go for something like BlackWarGreymon, which would be able to pop my Tamer, but they end up going for the Gaomon, so gonna go ahead and swing 2 checks. They do hit the Cocytus Breath on that second check, and they don't have the Yuya out, so they will get hit by the Cocytus, having to bottom deck that X Antibody source, and then when unsuspending, the Metal Greymon X is going to trash the top, which was the Nailbone, which is slightly unfortunate because obviously the Nailbone trigger would have been nice, but also getting another 7 cost option into my trash does help me start to get up into my Beelstar, so I'm going to play it for 4, and because that X Antibody option was stripped, I will be able to just go for the Fly Bullet and pop the stack now. And so I was looking in a little bit of a rougher spot because my opponent had the triple red memory boost to be able to build up into that stack, but now those are gone and the stack is gone, so they're gonna have to build back, and luckily I still have 1 security card, which means that unless they build up into a Mega and then go for the X Antibody, swing Digivolve into the Omnimon X Antibody, then I will be safe for at least 1 more stack, because this build isn't playing a Blitz Omnimon, and so I'm not gonna have to be worried about them swinging with a Mega and then going for Blitz Omnimon. They're gonna need another Digimon, but I am playing that Zort Defeat for this matchup to be able to pop those Yuya, so I'm just going to go for the Defeat, make it so my opponent can't be protected from option cards, and also so that I can choke them, and then I am going to just put them at 1 with the Ogremon, and they are going to scoop it up there because not much they are going to be able to do with 1 memory and being able to have all that damage on the board. I was most likely just going to be able to go for game, so going to have me going first, going to go with that Gabu into the scatter mode, and then we see an Agu into a red memory boost, and again swinging into another option card, so I am going to go for the Calling here, going to grab back that Gabumon and just get the on deletion from the scatter mode and the Demi Meramon to get some draw and trash going, so a couple option cards in the trash as well as that Ginkakumon promote, which will be nice for later if I do go for the Nailbone, be able to get that rush in the late game, but not looking as great of a position right now as far as what my hand is, because I really just need to be able to turbo out and get these checks and be able to get some 7 cost options in trash, but I don't have very many 7 cost options in my trash. As we saw when I was trashing out, I trashed out the promote when I would rather go ahead and get an option card and early put the promote in there later, so I'm trying to build up for a Beelstar so that way I can get something going, because going for multiple Beelstars is really going to be the best way for me to deal with this. But now going for 2 checks, no option cards, so not going to be able to burn off that X Antibody option, which is unfortunate, and then the Reboot will come out, which is going to trash that top. Again, not another option, but it is the Vilemon, which is another decent Nailbone target for later if I need a blocker to set up, which is not too terrible in a matchup like this, but more draw and trash. Gonna be able to start to get some 7 cost options in there for that Beelstar, but I don't have the craziest of things right now. I would need a blue source out here, so that way I could go for the Howling Crusher. That would be the most optimal to be able to strip sources and then be able to potentially delete it later, but all I have is the purple option, so I'm just gonna go for the Nailbone, which is going to go ahead and play out the Gabu and the scatter mode. And I do think that this was a misplay. I could have brought out that Vilemon, which would allow me to have blocker and block these 2 checks. I would still get one trashed from the Metal Greymon X Antibody when rebooting, but I still think it might have given me a better position. I went for the scatter mode to try and get some more draw and trash to be able to try and find Beelstars, be able to get to play them out, but not hitting the cards that I need, so I am just going to swing in and maybe that'll unlock something for me. But I hit the Hades Force, which is going to put another Beelstar in my trash, which would reduce the other Beelstar, but I don't have anything in there. Going to swing that Gabumon into a red memory boost, and I just do not have anything that I can do to deal with this Gaomon. And even if I did, even if I was able to go for 2 removal cards to be able to get rid of its X Antibody and then remove it, there is that Agumon in the back that could just swing in, so I would have needed Beelstar to be able to go in for that Ginkakumon promote. But going into game 3, I'm going to have my opponent go first. With Beelstarmon, you could want to go first, but you really need to hit the scatter mode if you do go first, and since we are playing not guaranteed with the mulligans, we want to just play with the hands that we get, and so I prefer to go second, so that way I can get that draw, so that way if I don't hit the scatter mode, it's not just a awkward position here. But gonna be able to go for the Ogremon, gonna trash out the promote, hit the Hades Force, which will delete the Ogremon, and then I can draw 2 trash 1, draw 1 trash 1, so 2 7-cost options in the trash, and that promote, so the promote potentially gonna be helpful for later. But now I have this Gazimon. I can swing it in and get checks, but it is something that I have to be kind of wary of because I have hit into so many red memory boosts that I do know that they are going to be out there, so I could potentially want this Gazimon for later. But since they do have that Greymon X Antibody in the back, they are going to be able to Digivolve up into one of their level 5s for reduced cost, so if they go into the BT8 Metal Greymon, they'll be able to delete the Gazimon anyway, as well as being able to delete with this Sagittarius mode or being able to go into the Metal Greymon X Antibody. So gonna go for both here, and that is just gonna clear the board. So that's why I wanted to swing it with the Gazimon, even though I would theoretically want Gazimon to be staying there as a floodgate. But now gonna go ahead and swing in 2 checks thanks to that security attack +1 Greymon, and then gonna be able to trash the top when unsuspending with that reboot. And now this is just a very bad spot. In the Beelstar matchup, you really need to be seeing things like scatter mode early, so that way you can potentially try and deal with this. And also the lack of blue option cards definitely hasn't helped, because Howling Crusher is actually a pretty decent card in the matchup. Being able to strip all these sources stops them from being able to trash security, while also being able to stop them from being able to save themselves with the Greymon X Antibody Inheritable. But not really having any of that coming out game 3. Agumon in the back, Greymon X Antibody on the board with the Agu X, and all I got is this Gabu, so I'm going to promote swing, draw, and trash, but I don't hit what I need, so I'm just going to scoop it up right there, and BlackWarGreymon X is going to be able to take it. And we are going to be trying to bring you even more BT11 content with these proxies, so be sure to like and subscribe if you are interested in that. But with that being said, I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you next time. Peace out.